How goes it, everyone? I am the world famous Fat Kid, and right now, week 3 picks. After an abysmal, okay, it's not as bad, but it's below 500, and I was trying not to do anything under 500, 7 and 9 last week. We're looking to bounce back. We're looking to get back in the positive. So, we're going to start with. Sorry. We're going to start with Thursday Night Football, New England Patriots taking on the New York Jets, and Jets coming off of a close win against Tennessee, and New England losing to Seattle at home. New England's got a good defense, but I feel like it's not going to be enough. Jets are going to win this one, and it's a divisional game, so it should be pretty close. Divisional games are always tough. No matter the division, divisional games are tough. Moving on to the New Jersey Giants taking on the Cleveland Browns. And the Giants are terrible. Cleveland a little less so terrible, but they're still terrible. Cleveland getting the win last week. And the Giants, well, they're 0-2. Going to be 0-3 because I'm taking Cleveland. Even with Cleveland's ineptitudes, they're better than the Giants. Next, Chicago Bears going up against the Indianapolis Colts. And this one I kind of went back and forth. Two inexperienced quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, Anthony Richardson. I give the edge to Anthony Richardson. He at least has, 5 games on Caleb Williams. I think it was week 4 or 5 that Richardson went out. But anyway, I believe the Bears have the better defense. And Caleb, he's going to be able to do just enough. And the Bears are going to win. Never actually go off of what I am saying if you're a betting person, because that'll lose you money, and I'm not responsible for that. Anywho's it. Moving on to the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Now, before the season started, I had Houston blowing out Minnesota. It was going to be just a debacle. Now, 2 weeks in, going into the third week, Houston's 2-0, Minnesota's 2-0. Minnesota's looked pretty good. Houston, a little bit of a rocky start, but they've played well enough to win. I think this is a game to watch. I have 2 marked this week. This is the first game to watch. Houston wins. It's going to be close. It's going to be good. Diggs going back to Minnesota. I think he's done that already with Buffalo, but he's now with a new team. It should be interesting. Next, Philadelphia Eagles going up against the New Orleans Saints. Now, strangely enough, before the season, I jotted down everybody's record and I guessed, I predicted, and I had Philadelphia going 0-2. Surprisingly enough, I called Atlanta beating Philadelphia. During my picks, though, I said, no way. Atlanta looked terrible week 1. And surprisingly, I actually called Philly being 0-2. And I think they're going to go 0-3. The Saints have looked much better as an offense. Their defense is solid. Philly's still trying to find their footing. Notorious slow starters. Saints get the win. Moving on to the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, this was a game that I was kind of going back and forth with. Both teams 2-0. Chargers beating the Raiders by 12 and then just destroying the Panthers, where the Steelers gutted out 2 wins against the Falcons and the Broncos. I picked the Chargers, and right now I'm trying to convince myself to go with the Steelers. But I think I'm going to stick with the Chargers. Their offense is just a little bit better. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think this is going to be a good, close game. This is not the one that I had to watch. But it's an honorable mention. How about that? Next, Denver Broncos going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Denver's terrible. Denver's garbage. Tampa Bay is pretty good. So I'm taking the Bucs. Big shock, I know. Then, from one bay to another, Green Bay going up against Tennessee. Packers, Titans. Malik Willis gonna start. I'm pretty sure Love is still out for another week or two. Going to his former team in Tennessee. If they bring the same run game that they had last week, they're going to win. Tennessee is not very good. Will Levis just looks lost out there. One play he could drop a dime for like 40, 50, 60 yards, and everybody's like, ooh, it's a great pass. And the next, he's just pitching the ball away to the other team. So I'm taking Green Bay. This should be... They should win by more than a touchdown. I'm not going to say double digits because I'm always wrong when I say that. They should win by at least 7. Then we go into the afternoon games with the Carolina Panthers going into Las Vegas to play the Raiders. The only concern I now have is Andy Dalton is starting instead of Bryce Young. If it was Bryce Young, I would have no concerns whatsoever. Raiders win. I'm not saying Andy Dalton is great, but he is a veteran quarterback. He's played for a long time. He's nowhere near as mobile, so the defense should be able to get to him. But that still doesn't change the fact that the Panthers are a terrible team. Raiders win. Then we move on to the Miami Dolphins taking on the Seattle Seahawks. This is another one of those. It's a close call because Miami's got a great offense. Seattle's got the young defense. They're pretty good. They also have a pretty good offense. Geno Smith, Metcalf, Lockett's still there. Walker, Charbonnet. We know the pieces. And Miami just got embarrassed at home against Buffalo. But seeing as this is in Seattle, I'm taking the Seahawks. I think there's too much going on with Miami right now. They're not focused. And they don't have Tua. So Seattle wins. Next, the Detroit Lions taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is my other game to watch because Detroit coming off of a game that they probably could have won against a very good Tampa Bay team. Going against the Arizona Cardinals, who just destroyed the Rams. I think this is going to be high scoring. At least 24 each. They might even both be pushing 30. Watch, it's going to be like a 10-7 game. Anyway, I'm taking the Lions. I think they have the pieces. They have the better team. They have the better defense, which is where it's going to fall. I've been wrong before. Next, Baltimore Ravens going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Again, another one of those tough calls. Because they're fairly similar teams. Although Baltimore's the better run game. Dallas has the better passing offense. Both decent defenses. Both coming off of losses. One more embarrassing than the others. And of course, that is the Cowboys' loss. I think with the shell shock of New Orleans coming in and hanging 40 on them, Baltimore is going to be able to win this game. Baltimore wins by the power of Derrick Henry and a little bit of Justice Hill. Yeah, Baltimore. Next, San Francisco 49ers going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Another story of two teams facing off against each other, having just lost the previous week. Another NFC West matchup. And the Rams are going to have a bad taste in their mouth because they got destroyed by the Cardinals. The Niners should have beat the Vikings by all accounts, although the Vikings decided we're going to be a football team now. No? Okay. I'm taking the 49ers. I really shouldn't keep saying the same thing over and over. They should have the advantage. But any given Sunday, we've seen that already, and it's only week 3. Then we move on to the Sunday night football game. Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Atlanta Falcons. Both coming off of wins. One more impressive than the other, although Kansas City slayed a rival in the Bengals. I hate it, but I got to go with it. It's the Chiefs. Let's see. Before the season started, yeah, I had them winning 3 out of their first 4, only losing to the Bengals, and I got that wrong. But I think the Chiefs are going to be too much for the Falcons to handle. Then, finishing it out, we have a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. First game, early game, Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Buffalo Bills. Jacksonville, nothing really is going right for them. It's kind of disappointing. So, I'm going to go with the Bills. They had a really good run game. Josh Allen protecting the ball a little bit better this year. I think Buffalo's the better team. You can argue if you want. I don't think anybody will argue that. Then to close out the week, the Washington Commanders going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. Washington riding high, getting the win last week against the Giants. And Cincinnati losing to the Chiefs. They're 0-2. I do not see them going 0-3. I believe they're going to beat the Commanders. With the way Cincinnati starts their seasons, this will probably be a close game, but Cincinnati ends up getting the win. There you go. There are my picks for week 3 for the NFL season 2024-25. And tell me what you think. Tell me what you agree, what you disagree with. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until the next one, I will see you later. Bye.